You're welcome, everyone. I can cite you, Bello, Ikepris, I can see Usman, Jafar, Karim Temitope, you're welcome. Love Basi. Love Basi, why are you always occupying the first seat? I think this Love Basi needs an award. I'm always seeing you right here. I think you are always the very first person joining the class, right from the very first day we started. Okay, so I cited you already. Don't worry. If you've not gotten access to my course for free, just send me a message after this class. I'm going to give you access to my 200 US dollars course, and that is that. Okay. All right. I can see your message. All right. Let's just wait for many more people to join, and we're going to start. It's possible we'll be using like two different links. So after this first one, I'm going to drop another one for us again to join the second. It's going to be like in two parts, like part one and part two. So just stay all the way from the beginning to the end to get the grasp of the full knowledge. Tonight is going to be so powerful, and we are starting right now. Okay, let me just share my screen so that everyone can start seeing. So we've started already, and I will just start while we're waiting for other people to join. I will just start sharing, copying some files. I don't want to do it behind us so that uh, some people will still come back and start asking me different questions again. I don't want that. So I want us to do everything together. So let's see how far we can go tonight, God helping us. All right, so we've been doing awesomely well. And those that actually submitted the assignment, I'm going to score everyone right on the group. Uh, okay, so don't worry if I have not done that yet. I'll do that after this class. Okay, so I will come also right there for review. What is this? I don't know what that is. So let's go the way to our Telegram. And before then, okay, this is the, I want to save more screens. We've designed two screens during the class yesterday. Like I said, I'm going to make sure I take it quite slow a bit so that, okay, we have this. So we'll be going with this. I'll just download and, and this one. So let's just take it in tools and we can come right to our download file and just pick that. So let me collapse this a bit and just import this and this, and I'll bring it right inside of Figma. So I have these two. So let me just put them right here. The first one that comes is the WhatsApp, okay? So images to the left, right, and designs to the right. So for where we stopped yesterday, before we move, I know some people were like, we have something at the back here. How did they get it? We're going to trash that. And I'm going to be introduce every one of us to something. During the last class, I didn't want to bug a lot of people with, complex processes. I want it to flow like a gradual step, one after the other. Okay, so that is why I just got this image directly and we make use of it. But I'm going to delete it today and, do it a lot better so that we can see how we can get it even much more better. And that is when I'll be introducing us to a part of the tools we have in Figma. And if you look below, I said all tools we use, they are mostly right here. And if you click right here, you can see this is the resources tool. You can go all the way and toggle to your assets. panel or the plugin and widget. So this is the one we want to work around with. Another way you can access the plugin and widget is by right-clicking right here and go all the way, point to plugins, click on manage plugins, and you are going to arrive at the same spot. So you want to search for a plugin which is called Iconify. So we use Iconify plugins. I love this plugin a lot. Another one I use is the Font Awesome Icons. And but this Iconify, I love it so much because it has tons, like thousands of icons that you can make use of. So I'll be working with the Iconify. So I want to search for WhatsApp icon. So I'll just type WhatsApp right here. You can see it gives me different types of icon. This is the type okay, no, okay, this is like an outline. So you need to check. It is something similar to this that we have for the WhatsApp icon, maybe this. And now, all these particular icons, they are vector. So maybe subsequently, I will talk about vector and raster images later on. But when we talk of vector images, they are just like, let me just explain a bit. You know, on your phone, on your mobile phone, if you open your mobile phone and you start zooming, a picture you took, it gets to a point that that image will start pixelating. It won't show clearly again. It means the image is what? Is a raster image. Any picture you take from your phone, like with the camera of your phone, they are raster image because they are always with a limitation in terms of the resolution of. So whatever the resolution of that image is going to be what is going to determine how much you can enlarge that image. But if the image is a vector image, it can, you can enlarge it to any size at any point. And any shape that you draw right here from Figma, that yourself, they are vector shapes, okay? So if you expand it to any shape, like if I pick the rectangle tool now and I draw a shape, so this is actually vector because, I can expand it and it's not going to pixelate, okay? I'll hit Ctrl Z to undo that. So what I need now is just the WhatsApp icon first. And this is the WhatsApp icon, okay? So let me click on this and drag it here to my workspace. You can see it is right here already now. So if I like, I can close this Iconify. If I need something else, I can, pick more than one if I need more than one icon right there. But I'll close it now. Now, by default, most of the icons usually follow, they come with the width of 24 by 24 point, okay? You need to take note of that. And now I talk about something. The reason why I love the Iconify icon is that mostly they are usually vectorized. Like if you look at here, now, someone chatted me earlier today that asked, Coach, I designed something and at the end of the day, it is one thing that was showing. It's only maybe from that was showing, the other part was not showing. I was like, okay, try and be part of the class tonight because I'm going to explain why that can be so. Please, let me just digress a bit and just talk about that now. It is possible that you are creating a design and it's not going to show when you are presenting. The issue is going to be that now, if I come right here and select frame, and I select iPhone 13 mini frame that we are using to design, and if by any chance, you can see that this is iPhone 13 mini frame. In Figma, we work with layers. The same way graphic designers work with layers when they are working with Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. I talk about, raster image and vector image earlier on. Most of the time, images created by Photoshop are raster images, and that's created by Illustrator are vector. And that is why when you want to create a logo design, we use Adobe Illustrator. Okay, before I got upgraded to the level that I become a UI/UX designer, I started as a graphic designer. So it helps me in the journey. So if you have the graphic design basics, it will help you in the journey becoming a UI/UX designer because you have good knowledge of color, typography, and contrast, balance, some design principles you need to follow, hierarchy, and all of that, because you have actually garnered experience as a graphic designer. But then it doesn't mean that if you don't have any experience, like the way we are doing, you cannot become a UI/UX designer, because If you are becoming a UI UX designer, you are automatically a graphic designer. I must tell you. Now, Figma, you can use it to create more than just app design, because you can apply whatever you know and use it to create anything of your choice. Even if you can use it too very well, you can say, oh, I just want to play around and, you know, design a flyer from it, publish it. You can even make a PDF file from it. I can teach you all of that, but this is not part of the scope of the class for this week. Okay, so let's go forward right now. Now we have the iPhone 13 mini 1. So that's the name, and you can see it on the layer panel. Now let's say if I want to put something inside, and by chance I draw a shape. Now by the time you draw a shape inside the frame, take note, any parent frame that you pick from here that we design with, we don't reduce their size or increase them. It is not done. You don't come right here and start reducing this frame width and height. Lie, you don't do that. So don't make that mistake. Don't come right here and say you want to reduce the frame width and height. It is not done. I will press Ctrl Z to undo that step. Or you want to use the scale tool and say you want to, because you have an image. You know, I said you need an image as reference in this case that we are redesigning. So because you now pick an image from the ones we drop on the Telegram channel, you now want to expand this one so that it can meet up with this. You see that you are going to mess up things. You are going to mess things up, which is not going to be right. Even now, it seems like I already messed things up. Okay, you see the same width. You can see it is the width of 375 by what? 812. The only thing you can do is, let's say you know the exact dimension. Like personally, if you go to the frame tool and you select, you can see you can collapse this. We are working with only the phone frame for now, and we are using iPhone 13 mini. The dimension is what? 375 by what? 812. That means the width is what? Is 375. The height is what? 812. The only thing you can do is, let's say you want to create the frame of this phone yourself. You can just draw a size of any, you know, width and height, and just come here and put 375. Because I know the width and height, I will say 812. It is still going to give me the exact dimension as this other one, so that you are not creating frame that is different from every other one. Like, you need to be careful of that. So I will delete this one because I don't need it. Now, back to what I was saying. If you now want to make these two to be of the same height, it is the reference image that you will reduce. And when you are reducing, if you try to use the move tool to reduce, look at what will happen. Can you see what was happening? So you don't do that because it's going to affect the proportion. So I will press Ctrl Z to undo this step. And what I will do is I will need to use the scale tool. Scale tool is going to maintain the proportion. The proportion in terms of the width and what? And the height. For example, if I draw a shape of, now if you want to draw a perfect square, what you just need to do is, when you select the rectangle tool, hold the shift on your keyboard, click, left click, and hold your left click while you are holding the shift. At any point, if I drop this, it's going to give me the dimension of what? Of equal dimension, 340 by what? 340. And take note of something. There's going to be, this particular lock is going to be shown indicated blue, and it's showing that this is locked. It means the constraint proportion has been checked. Let me change the fill color of this shape so that you can see what I'm doing. This constraint proportion, when it is checked, whenever it's checked, if you do any changes here, let's say I put 200 here and I hit enter, it's going to automatically change the height to 200 because they are equal proportion before. So by the time I hit enter, you can see now that this is 200 by what? By 200. Take note of it. If I enter 500 here for the height and I hit enter, it's going to affect the other one. Now, let's say I want to make adjustment. I don't want this. I want 200 here and I want 100 here for the height. Then I need to uncheck the particular constraint proportion. Then I will now enter the value individually. So if I put 200 here and hit enter, you can see the width is like this. Or if I put 500 here and I put 250 here, that means the height is going to be the like 50% of the width, right? You can see now that I can change individually because the constraint proportion is not checked. Now, if I do something now, something funny, if I check it and lock it at this proportion, now, what do you think will happen if I put 200 here? Good. I know what you have in mind. It's going to be 100 because this is going to be half of the what? Because I already lock it in ratio 2:1. So if I put 200 here and hit enter, you see this height automatically turns what? 100. If I put 400 here and hit enter, the height. So this check constraint proportion is what? Is very important as you'll be needing them because I might be using them along the line. So I'm trying to just give you some basics because as we go forward, you're going to be seeing me using a lot of these along the line. Take note of that and be conversant and follow the process along. I'm not too fast, I believe, tonight. I'm not. Okay, so now let's move forward. Now, I was saying something. Let me fill this particular shape. And now I will duplicate this shape. If I duplicate, let me hold Alt, click and drag and duplicate. Now, you know this shape is like is outside. Now, if you look at this layer, you see this particular frame, it has an eye icon and it has a key. If I put the key on lock, I won't be able to move this particular frame. Sorry, Ctrl Z. I won't be able to move this frame around. But when I unlock it, I'll be able to move it. If I hide it from the eye icon, it will be hidden. Now, you can use this eye icon to know whatever layers are perfectly inside that frame. So this rectangle 1 is inside the frame. If I change this to blue color, and this particular rectangle, I name it red, and this other one, I'll click on it. Okay, it's here. I will name it blue. Now, if you notice, this blue is outside this frame. If I want it to go inside the frame, I can drag it inside this frame. Sometimes it might appear inside, like it's inside, but it's not inside. But now you see that if I come right here and I hide, the two rectangles are inside. If by chance I drag this particular blue up above the frame, you see that it is still showing on top this frame, but it is not inside because I already dragged it outside to another layer above this frame. So if I move this frame now or hide this frame, you see that blue will not be hidden. Can you see that? Blue will not be hidden because it is no longer inside this frame. If I want to bring it inside, I'll need to drag it maybe over this frame, then it will fall inside. Boom. You can now see that it is inside the frame. If I hide again, you can see that that works perfectly fine. Let me darken this canvas a bit so that we can see what I'm doing perfectly well. So if I take red, a layer above, outside this frame, check, you can see that red is just above, but it is not. So if I try to present, let me present this, you will see that red will not show, even though it is on top of this frame. It's only blue that will show when I'm presenting this frame. So you need to check, I'm presenting with the right device. So that's what I wanted to know. So let's just wait for this to load. While that is loaded earlier on, I said I wanted to do a particular draft. You might not be familiar with that before. And right now, we are going to perform the witchcraft thing. Okay, so if you're enjoying the class, please let's speak now. We can talk. Like, how you feel in the class? Just maybe one person. Now, okay. Right now, you can see that we have. All right, good. I just want to be sure that we are following. Now, you can see that even though this particular one, let me zoom in a bit so you can see.
Yes, we are following.
This particular rectangle, this red one, is on top of the frame. It is not showing when I present it. Why? Because it is outside the frame in real time. It's just like on top of that frame, but it is outside the frame. Good. So if I want it to show inside of this particular frame, I have to bring it back inside of the frame. Can you now see it is now showing? So if you encounter that problem, I believe I'm able to answer the question now. All right, so I will close this preview for now and I will delete this frame. Thank you very much. So I'm able to answer the person that asked me that question. Then we can go back to our design. Let me solve this particular one faster. So we have this inside the frame already, and the frame is this splash, right? And I will just show it this way. So let me select. You can see that most of the time, icon that you pick from Iconify will come with its own individual frame, which is usually 24 by 24. So I can select that frame containing the icon. You can see this vector inside. That's the particular icon vector inside. And that's the one I'll change to color green. So now let me increase the size a bit. So I'll come right here where we have 24. You can see the constraint proportion is checked by default. So let me increase maybe like 60 by 60. You can see it's fairly bigger, almost closer, maybe 80 by 80. Oh, perfect. I love this. So now I can come right here. You can do the changing of the color from the frame by selecting selection colors, or target the vector itself by changing the fill color. So either of the ones will work. So I will just select the vector inside of that frame and come right here, and the fill color, activate the color picker. I want to use the exact color right here. So I'll just pick this color. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Let me zoom in. Sometimes you may have to zoom in. So you can hit I on your keyboard to activate the color picker. So now the color should reflect. Perfect, right? Or maybe we can use this particular color. No. Let me use the exact color we have here. Okay, so I already picked that color. And you now see that we got a better version than the previous one we did. Another thing you can do is maybe if this vector is not thicker enough, you can add stroke to it. But I'll just leave it the way it is. 80 by 80, maybe I can change it like 85 by 85. Then, it might not be aligned to the center. Maybe it's around here. You may do it manually by bringing it to, now when it's around this perfect center, vertically or horizontally like this, you see a red line guiding you. Or if you don't want to pass through that stress, just use this position alignment tool. This one, the second one, is going to align horizontal centers, and this one is going to align vertical centers. Don't forget, we want it to go a little bit to the top. I'll just use the arrow key on my keyboard to take it a bit top, and I can come here, maybe increase it to 90 by 90. I think I like it that way. And this is just what we want. So we can present this and check that out. The shortcut for presenting is what? Previewing is Shift and Space key on your keyboard. So in case you just want to press Shift and Space bar on your keyboard, that's a shortcut. Because most of the time we'll be working with shortcut, Shift and Space bar. But if you want to replay, you can restart. Another way you can check your work is by going all the way and say present. What present does is going to open it in another new tab entirely, which you need to take note of. You can see it's opening it in another new tab. You need to So sorry about that. I think I had a glitch in network. So I'll select all the controls. So I want to delete each of these particular ones. I don't need those ones. So I'm just deleting them and leaving the remaining ones. So I noticed another thing right here when I was checking through. Now that is the fact that each of these ellipses that I used, if you want to do your own, make sure it is a lot perfect. This particular ellipse is showing like is not perfect enough. This one I use right here. It has to be like perfect square or something. So, or maybe it is this one here. Maybe you may need to just check through and use something a lot better. Okay, so right here you can see, and we did the prototyping as well. Oh, the shape I added has gone. Okay. Let me take it out. So I will remove some of this and delete, because we don't need it in the other ones. And don't forget, each of these other particular ones, sometimes you may need to bring out your design to adjust them, for correction purposes like this. So, okay, let me do something. I'll select each of these ones, like each of this frame, this, and come right here and say selection color. Wherever I have this green color, I want to change it to another color. I want to change to another color, which is maybe a gray color. Something like this. Okay, so automatically, instead of me doing it one after the other, so you want to make sure you are working smartly. So you are working smartly. That's the code. So you are not just designing, you are working smartly. So let me select all the languages and the ones that are, okay, selection color for P2. I want it to be a little bit darker, like that. Okay, so if I like, I can, register this new color that I have right now. So I can just say uh color to dark. Okay, so I will just create the variable. So that's what I use now. And I can take it back to the frame now. So you need to make sure that it enters that frame. And how do you know that? Let me select this. How do you know that it is inside the frame? You can see it's even showing already. So that's one sign that is inside the frame. Another thing is you need to go to your particular frame and check that particular layer, and that is like the languages. You can see I named it. So it's good to name all your frame and layer so that it can be easier for you to identify any little changes that you are making. So let me make it a little bit like closer to each other. So this is the beauty of using auto layout. So another thing I taught you is how to use the column and grid. I'll press Shift G on my keyboard. Let me select the frame, Shift G. To activate the layout grid, I'll select this and align it with the grid like that. Shift G to toggle it off. And this looks like this. So the next is I can draw a shape of rectangle. I think I drew this during the last class. And Shift and space bar to preview. Perfect. So I need to add something to this, and that is to fix it and stay in place so that when we are scrolling, it's not going to be scrolling. So I'll move it a bit to the top. Like that, and change the color. So I'll select the move tool, go all the way, close this to design, then come right here and change it to white. Okay, so if I select this frame and I say Shift space bar to preview, you can now see that this is working fine. So the last thing is this particular one we did not do, which is right here. And you can just do that easily. And how do we achieve that? Let me toggle off this particular comment. I'll hide out the comment. I think someone commented here. So I'll come right here, select the rectangle tool and draw it right here. So it's good that you can toggle on your grid, Shift G, to make sure that you have perfect alignment with your grid position like that. And I think this one looks quite perfect for me. So maybe I'll use 55 by 55. Okay, so or maybe the width should be 59 or 60. A bit longer width. Okay, so I'll change the color. The fill color, I'll pick the green color. Okay, Shift G. I want to toggle off the grid, so I press Shift G to toggle off the grid I drew earlier. And then this creates this kind of curve. So you need to add this corner radius. You can increase it from here. Just click and drag that, or you enter the value you want. If you put 5, it's going to be a little bit curved, but let me use like maybe 20. It was too much. Maybe 10. Okay, 10 is just perfect. So I'm going to drag this a little bit to the top, and then we need arrow tool. Good. So I'll select the arrow tool. It's a family member of the rectangle tool. So I'll just draw it. Maybe hold Shift when you are drawing it. I'm drawing it outside of that one. So you can see that I need to zoom in so that I can perfectly place it where and do the right thing. And I think I need to reduce the width of this or the length like this. Then I need to change the stroke color for lines and arrow. You change stroke color. So I'll change it to white. And the X color code for white is F in 6 places. So I'm okay with this. So I can select this too. Select this arrow, hold Shift, click on the shape, and you can come right here and use the auto layout to just perfect the. So a frame will be added and it's going to become, perfect. Or Control Z. I can align them first or just group them together. But I prefer to use frame a lot. So I'll right click and say frame selection. Okay, so I think something is happening there. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. I have an arrow, I have the shape. Okay, frame selection. Okay, okay, so I've framed the selection, but it seems like there's a frame reflecting behind. Okay, I don't know. There's an error. It's best if we enclose this particular arrow in a frame of its own. So let's just use auto layout. Auto layout should be able to solve most of the things for us. Control Z, let me undo. These two, let me group them first. Group, okay, group works, so without issue. So let me just use the grouping. Hold the control, let me reduce this a bit. And maybe increase the width a little bit or reduce from here. So select, use the alignment tool. Oh, sorry. So that is done. So we have done that, and you can press the Shift and Space bar on your keyboard to preview and check out what you have done so far. Okay. Why am I not seeing the arrow key? We can fix that anyway. Is it that it's outside the frame? Is it outside the frame? Okay. I guess this particular one is not inside the frame. You see, that's the mistake. So anybody can make that mistake. So take note. So let me rename this particular one. You know, it's on splash we do earlier. So I'll just name it maybe onboarding. Maybe onboarding 1. So onboarding screen 1. You can see it is here. So this particular arrow is not inside the frame. So let me just drag it inside so that now you can see it is now reflecting inside of that frame. So you need to be careful, because if it is not inside the frame, it won't work. Okay, every other thing is working. Now this particular two, they are just there. So let me select these two now. I think framing the selection should be able to work now. It's only group 1, the rectangle. Let me remove that rectangle out of the group and it stand alone. So you can select from the layer panel as well. So I'm selecting the two, and you can frame selection or group. So I'll just say frame selection for now. Then right here, I will go to prototype and say fixed stay in place. So it's not going to scroll while we are scrolling. So when we are doing the scroll, you can see this particular one is now in place. It's not scrolling with the other part. Okay. So let's proceed. The last part for this one is the top part, which is like a vector. So let's go to Google and search for something, maybe WhatsApp, BG vector green, something like that. Maybe WhatsApp BG vector. You may not be able to get the exact thing, but what is more important is just like the idea behind it. Okay, maybe we should just use this or this or this. Looks closer. So if you are patient enough, you might get something very close. Okay, I will just use this. I'll right click and just maybe copy image. If the copying of the image directly doesn't work, just save it to your device. So Shift spacebar. Okay, right click and say paste here. Okay, let me go back to design, paste here. Is it working? Okay, it worked. It worked. So this is it. This is it. Or probably, let me delete it. To make things a lot easier, I want easier method. Let me just save it on my device, save as, for benefit of other people. So I will use a particular tool as well that can be easier for everyone, like an ellipse. So let's draw an ellipse from the rectangle tool. You see family member of rectangle tool is ellipse. Hold the shift key whenever you are drawing your ellipse anyway. So I have my ellipse, and now we are going to change the feel of that ellipse. So instead of this color, I'll change to image, then upload the image that we downloaded from the computer. It's not showing my image. Did it download it? Uh, it's not a valid image file. That is why sometimes I just prefer to use copy. Okay, and paste. So I use another method now to paste it right there. So because I'm selecting that and I already selected image, so it's going to be, and another way is you can mask it inside. So now I use this particular trick because the method I wanted to use did not work because of the type of file, but then Figma will be able to pick it. So let me crop it so that we can have this, yeah, no, 325, 325, unlock, 325. Okay, so unlock. So I want perfect ellipse. So I have this already now. So I can now use this. Let me scale down, hit K on my keyboard, scale down, and I can bring it right inside of my frame. Okay, this is the ellipse 2. Let me take it above. Oh, no, no. Let me Control Z. It's lost somewhere. Okay, it's image. It's image on body 1. So let me move it above other layers inside on body 1, above rectangle 1. So now you can see it is now showing. Okay, so we can place it a little bit down. So layers is what really matters when you are working right inside of Figma. So now you can see that the image is showing, but we need to blend it with the background like the way we have this particular one. So we can increase the size a bit more. Okay, just like this, increase it a bit more. Okay, let me take this out. I will do something first. Let me use the slice tool now because I don't need all of it. Control Z. Let me take it back. Control Z. Let me use the slice tool from here because I just need a few parts of this. Like this. It's having white background. So there I can increase 2 times export slice. So I can bring the slice back in. Okay, so the slice, I need to move it all the way up. So it can show. So you need to study so choose your language. I think there's only one above it. Okay, it doesn't matter. So now we have this, but the WhatsApp has to go above that slice. So you need to use this to arrange your layers. So I'll move this a bit down like this. So it can resemble what we have here, something like that. Then I think I need to do something, put a shape above that, like a rectangle shape has to go above that, like that. Like this. So and that rectangle, I'll make it like white. And let me use another color first so that you can see what I'm doing. So I need to identify where the rectangle is. So the rectangle shape has to go above the slice. Okay, so just like this. Okay, just like this. Now I'm going to do something. I need to change the fill. Instead of this, I'm going to use a gradient fill, or maybe this. And Okay, so I need to use a fill like this. Maybe this, yeah. So I'll change this particular one, Ctrl Z. I'll reduce the opacity to 0. So I'll auto rotate like this. Yeah, perfect. So the color will be white, okay, because that's what I want. So you can adjust it so that you can drag above like this. And the shape, I will still adjust the shape later on and bring this one down, maybe this way, like this. Then this fill color is going to be white as well. But let me just make it like this first so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to enlarge the height, maybe increase the height of that shape a bit and take it all the way up so it can cover and give us that particular sleek feel that we had on that other one, like this. Oh, cool. So now I'm going to just change the linear gradient. From this color now, I will use white so that it could resemble what we have on the other end. So I can adjust this thing so that it can make it, you know, create that feel, that kind of feel we had on that previous one. So we can select the slicer and maybe bring it a little bit down. And the rectangle, bring it down a bit so that you can have something similar to what we have here. So that particular slice, you can just adjust it to your taste. You can increase the size. You know, that other one is looking like it's bigger. Okay, so I'll align it to the center. I may want to move it down a bit more. So it looks similar to what we have here, right? So now I can reduce the opacity a bit so that it can blend well. So select the move tool and reduce the opacity of that image view for this particular image we are using, maybe like 50%. So it's very close to what we have here. Now, let's look at the presentation of our design, or maybe the slides. Let me take it to like maybe 60% opacity. Okay, so I love the way this looks now. So let's present or preview. So you can see we have perfectly created that field, which we could not do yesterday. So this is perfect. So if I restart my animation and if I click on the first screen, it's going to start. Then you see boom, because we already added a prototype to that. And then we are done with those two screens. So the next one is going to be this particular one. And we can just duplicate maybe one of the screens, then make of that now. So let's duplicate the onboarding screen one. I'll press Ctrl D. And before we move on, let me take this all the way here. I want this to be aligning with this previous one. Probably, let me delete this. I may have to start from scratch. You can hit F on your keyboard to use the frame tool. So I'll just start from scratch. But I'm going to use this particular text right here. So I'll hold and drag and duplicate it and place it here. I just click Alt, click and drag, and I will still make use of this one. That's why I didn't delete it earlier. Okay, so for the WhatsApp, whatever. And if you want to use the exact one here, let's just borrow this their own. So I can use the slice tool. Sorry, slice tool, and just slice this part out. Okay, so by slicing this, I'll just need to export 2x, like to increase the quality a bit. So it's going to name it slice 3. So this particular slice layer, I can delete it. Then bring this one back in. Okay, so this one I'll delete and I'll work with this new slice I brought in. So I'll need to scale this down a bit. So hit the K on your keyboard to scale. Then I can make use of this in my design. So I'll just align to the center and I have that. So let's scale this one to a bit down so that it can match. Like I said, it's only the image you should scale. Don't scale your frame you are using to design. It's wrong. Don't scale your frame. So I will set this one to, instead of medium, to maybe regular. And for here too, I think I'll change it back to regular. So it's just like the font weight. We can't do everything in just this one class, but then I believe we've really gone a long way all the while. Like, so I've been following from the beginning, like it's a whole lot. We've covered a whole lot of things in this class, just in 3 days. It's a lot. All right, so we have done this. Welcome to WhatsApp. Then we can add the text right here. But before then, let's do this button. To create a button, before that, let's use the, let's set the auto layout we are using. So we are doing the layout grid again. So change this to from grid to what? To column. And count of 5. We use margin of 24 earlier, got out of what? 15. So you can use margin of 30, but you can just follow. I love to use margin of 24. So use the rectangle to draw a rectangle so that the rectangle can be perfectly aligned to the width of the margin. And let's set the height to 43. Okay, like that. And I will change the fill color of that my rectangle to this color here. So I just use the color picker to pick that color. Press Shift G on your keyboard to toggle off the grid, and this is how our design looks. Now you see that this particular rectangle has corner radius, so let's add the corner radius. I'll hit 20. Yeah, or maybe even more, maybe 40. It's enough with what I have here. Maybe the 20 would have worked, or 30. Okay, so now I need to put a text on top, which is agree and continue. So I'll add text, or maybe Ctrl Z. I can use this one. Hold Alt on your keyboard, click and drag to duplicate. Then I will type agree and what? Continue. So I'll need to reduce the font size of this to around 16 pixels. So bring it all the way down, but then it's below this rectangle layer. So I need to drag it above that rectangle 4. So you can see this is the rectangle 4, right? So now I'll need to select this text and hold the Shift key, select the rectangle to align the two. Align to the center, perfect center like that. Then I need to change the color of this text to white. So unlock it first, then you can enter FFF, and then it's going to change to white. I'll change from regular to make it thicker a bit to medium. So it's best when you are creating a button, hold the Shift key and click on the 2 layers. You can see that these 2 layers are being selected. That's why they are. You can hit Control and click on the second one. They are being selected already. Then I'll frame it with an auto layer. So it automatically creates a button for me like that. So now you can see a frame has been created, and I can just name this one button. So you can name it as you like, anything. You can say agree button or anything. So now we have this particular text that we're left with. Okay, let me change this color. I want it darker. Maybe I'll use the color B2 dark here. So then I need the text below that. I'll copy from this particular text, but I'll change the fill color of this one. I'll select P2 dark or P2. Then I'll just type read privacy policy, full stop, tab, colon, sorry. Agree and continue to accept the terms. I don't know why my T is doing like that. Terms of service. Oh, perfect. So I'll reduce the font size of this from 16 to around 12 or 13. Okay, so 13 pixel is fine. So maybe I need to give some spacing line height. So let me see 16 before, maybe like 18, so that it can space out and breathe. Okay, so now I need to align to the center, or maybe 20. And I change the text alignment to the center like this. Bring it a little bit down. Okay, so now I need to just do a few things. There are some that are highlighted blue. So I will use my text tool. I'll select this text right here and come right here to the fill color, unlock this, and I'll select blue color. You can come and pick the color, but I will just guess. I'll do a guesswork for this. Okay, so I like this. So I can add it to my color palette and say create a variable. So it's just color I put there. So if I need it, I don't need to, cram it again or start finding it. So I will select this other one and unlock the color, select from this color I've created, and I can reuse that. All right, so perfect. We have done the onboarding screen too. So I'll just name this frame onboarding 2. Okay, so now I can prototype. It still remains smooth like this particular one. I didn't forget. So, okay, let me just do something. I'll duplicate this, agree and continue as well. And do something right here. Change the color to this green and type English. So this like language. Reduce the font size to around 14. Okay, align to the center. And I have this there. Then I need the arrow down. And I need this particular one. So we can go and use the Iconify plugin. So right click, go all the way to plugins, select Iconify. So we have web. Sorry, by the time I tap it, it must have been applied. So I will just click and drag it there. Should show forth that I added something. I don't know why it's not showing. Okay, let me do that again. It's bringing error. Import as frame. Okay, so I've imported it as frame. Think if that doesn't work the other way around. Okay, so I have arrow. So I need something like arrow down. And if you like, you can, draw it and create your own. So if you can get one that is similar, you can easily just apply that to your design. I think I'll just pick this one so as not to waste our time. I'll import it as frame. Okay, so I'll take it back in. So we are doing a redesign. It doesn't ask to be the same. So I'll select this and select this as well. These three. So these particular ones are frames. So let me align them with auto layout. And I can, because they are with auto layout, I can usually easily space them out. I'll change the color of these ones to this, Control C. So I want the same color, Control V. So now I have something similar to what I have there. Maybe I need to give them a little more spacing out. Maybe like 12. All right, so I'll select the whole frame, align it to the center of the screen, and boom, we have that. So let me select this button and move it a little bit down. Maybe for my design, move it a little bit down, and this a bit down as well. So now we can now prototype this, that when we tap on this particular icon, it can take us to this onboarding tool. And we will use, instead of instant, we use smart animate. So let's go all the way and check our preview. So now if I tap on this now, it takes us right here. Can you see that? So if I go all the way from the first screen, the splash, after delay, it goes to the second screen. Then right here, you can scroll up and down, right? I think the shape is distracting first. Let me take it a bit up so you can see what is going on. Yeah, perfect. So now tap, it works fine. So that is how far we've gone right now. So now let me quickly do the magic I was talking about. And that is to show us something, how we can preview this our design live and direct from our mobile phone. Okay, so I will just open that up. Okay. So I'll just open that up. Almost done, sir. I believe we can see my screen. So I'll just close this. So I'm about to show us something. So you can see I'm operating my phone. This is my phone. I want to search for Proto for Figma or just search for Figma. So if you don't have Figma, you can come right to your App Store or Play Store. If you are using Android, you go to Play Store so you can install. So you can see live and direct. I'm operating my phone from my PC, right? Isn't that witchcraft? Okay, it's installing. So let's just wait for it to finish install. And then we're going to open it up and do a sign. Okay, so it's done installing. It's my phone. I can operate from the system and I can do that from my phone. So I don't want to use that from the system. I want to tap from my phone. So I'll just say login to Figma. So it's going to prompt me to sign in directly with my Figma account from my browser. So you can just log in. So now you can see it's going to load all my activities and the present whatever the work I'm working on. So this is the one I'm on currently. Oh no, it's not this. It's not this. So you may have to select the right team. That should be code 1. Okay, let's see cyber school team. Yeah, this is it. So you can see this is WhatsApp redesign. So let me open it up. So this is the way you are going to open from your mobile phone, and you can be, checking the preview of your design live and direct. You can place your phone beside you and you are designing and you are checking the way your apps looks from, your mobile phone. So this is my mobile phone and it is right here with me. I can be doing all of the design and be checking how it looks from my device. So that's why I said you can always design with your own device. Just click these 3 dots and click on view prototypes. So if you have created a prototype for that particular design you are creating, that is when you can view the prototype. Else you won't be able to. So now you can see it is working. So if I'm operating it from my mobile device now, you are going to be seeing I'm doing that from my phone. So this is everything we have prototyped, right? So if I go and tap this particular next, you can see it worked, right? Perfect. This is just perfect. And let's say if I direct this particular icon to take me back to the beginning of the frame, and let's see what that is going to be. So if I tap it from here now, it's going to reflect. I'm operating from my mobile phone now. You can now see that the prototyping starts again, and this is cool, right? So, and you can preview everything you are doing live and direct from your mobile phone, just like that. So you have a better feel from your mobile device when you are viewing what you have created. And also, isn't this cool? This is massive. This is massive. This is massive. All right, so that is it. Yoruba people will say, "Ó wù ní ká jẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu," but ń fa ọ̀nà fún ìyẹn stubborn. So what I'm trying to say is I really wish we could go beyond this tonight, but then this is going to be where we are going to stop the class. And it's the third day, and this is going to be the end of the boot camp. And I want us to come to the group now, and let's give a review about how far it has been, and let's comment, and I'm going to drop something there. Please react as well immediately. And for those that still need my assistance going further, please. And after this class, don't think that maybe because you have learned the whole thing already, you have the full understanding. There's still a lot you need to learn. Of course, these 3 days has been a lot, I must say, but then there are still a lot you need to learn. And you still need someone to, hold you by hands and guide you, like, okay, this is what you need to do, you understand? And you need someone to hold you by hand and put you through the whole of this thing. And that is why I am here. And I'm going to put an offer. I don't want to do this, but because a lot of people reach out to me, earlier on. And don't forget, this is the app. I'm opening it from my mobile device now that you need to download on your mobile phone. That's Figma. You can see view, comment, and mirror. And we just use it to preview what we designed just now, as you can see. So I can open it and you can see, I can check the preview of. So this is so cool and nice. And what we have done so far is just like application of all these things that you are going to use to develop and build and design the other ones. And also I have an offer for every one of us. Beyond the UI design, there are other things I have in stock for us, and that is the app development. And I have packaged a course on that, on how to use Flutter Flow for app development. So you don't need to write a single line of code. You can build an app. Like currently I'm working on a particular app project, and it's like converting your design from Figma all the way to what a functional app that you can launch on your iOS or on your Android device. So I'm working on that as well. And if you want to learn how you can achieve this and you can become even, an app developer, that means, it's going to be a lot more interesting when you can convert even your design to an app. And also, we only leverage on just app design. We didn't look the aspect of what, of maybe of other things. Let me just show you something now from my mobile device prototype. One of the previous, work I've done, like designs and all of that. So let me show you the prototyping. We didn't even look at anything like website design. Look at this particular thing that you are seeing. It's just an animation of a website. And this is awesome. Look at that. Look at that. Just look at that. Let me try and flip my screen so we can see that perfectly well. Just look at this. So I'm showing you this from my mobile phone. So this looks like a real website. And I make this from what? From Figma. Okay. So Figma is what every company, they are switching to now to create massive designs and prototype, for their website. Like, this is a website, and this is like the hero section of the website for, I did it for Five Alive during a class. So if you want to learn how to do massive prototyping like this is a lot. So we didn't even go far. We didn't cover like how to, do a whole lot of prototyping, like how to put, I wish we could go even further than this, but a lot has been committed to even those 3 days free class that we had. Let me show you another one. Okay. Let me show you another one. So I'm going to minimize this. So I'm just giving you it's like tip of an iceberg that we've gotten. So some people might feel like, with all these things that we have learned, we should have covered the whole thing. So this is, we only did the bits, like, let me say tip. You've not even gotten the real deal. It's just the tip you have gotten. Yeah. So this is an e-commerce website I did worked on. Let me zoom it so you can see. You can see it looks like a real. This is made with what? With Figma. And this is what, and I can, if you enroll in this class, I'll show you how you can easily convert all of these things to functional websites. And also, I have an offer for everyone. Let's say you feel like, oh, you want to learn how to, you don't even need to be so good with writing codes, but I'm going to introduce you to how you can easily, I'll give you the formula you can easily use to convert all your design to live website. And you are going to gain, mastery of the HTML and CSS coding, which are the basic framework of building any type of website. Look at this one now. I think there's some animation done here. Okay, we are coming to the end of the class already. So this is like, I believe we can see there is still a lot to still learn. So this is, I'm going to be dropping an offer on the WhatsApp group so that for as many that feel like, oh, I still want to, you want to make money. And other things that we couldn't cover in this class is how to, one thing is learning a skill. The other thing is, converting that skill to money machine. So I'm going to be giving you the secret of how I was able to make nothing less than 2 million naira monthly for the past 1 year. Like nothing less. I'm just saying, some months it could be more, some more months it could be 5, it could be 10. And imagine you as a freelancer, you are getting like gigs. If you're even getting gigs directly from, let's say, Canada, and I have some websites I can, or like US websites I can give to you. Most of the clients in US pay well, and you can get freelancing offer that can pay you like maybe like $500 above. And it's not like maybe you have to go and be saying you want to register on Fiverr. No, it's not this Fiverr Upwork that, at the end of the day, you spend, a lot of money buying Connect, whatever. What do? I don't use them. You understand? But there are better ways. Look at this Piggyverse website. I use this to teach some of my students, and we recreated the design. You get, and this is it. Look at that. So we recreated this. Look at how this is looking. So this is done with what? With Figma. Everything you are seeing here is done with Figma. Everything you are seeing right here. Look at this. This is so beautiful. Can't you see? Look at the animation of this card. Like if you look at Piggyverse website, you see that this is just how it looks. This is just how it looks. If you scroll down, look at the goal-oriented savings. If you go all the way here, look at this. Look at the everything. So sleeky. And these are things that you will learn if you decide to say, oh, yeah, Coach Manuel, I want to go even deeper in this journey. Because, when I say you are just tip of an iceberg you have gotten, I know what I'm saying. So let me show you like 2 more. I can't show you everything because I have a bulk, like a whole bulk of them. But I know I can't show everything. Let me try and show you like 2 more. I believe someone still wants to see something like, yeah, I think this is, and another beautiful thing about UI UX design is that it's very interesting and fun, especially when you get in touch with someone that makes it fun. You understand? So it's fun. Look at this design. This is a design and it's an animated design. If I tap on get started now, you see what happens. This is so sleek and smooth. Look at the smooth transition. And I don't think you have seen something so complex like this, except maybe, this one can be, it was one day that we were looking at creating something with a feel of anime. So with few of my students, I just be like, okay, let's do something fun and, and I just use this one to teach them some parallax effect in Figma and how we can do that. And look at that. This is what we got. All of these, they were just prototyping. And all these layers are just vectors and, how to do and achieve all these, professional designs, intriguing prototypes. You need to, you need to go further. than just the 2-3 day class. Let me show you, I said maybe 2 more. I have plenty, like a lot. I've not even shown you like application, like full applications that projects that were being designed. Okay, maybe let me see if this can open. Flutter Flow, able to show you that one today because so as to save time. Okay, so look at this. Look at this. Let me show you the full view. You can see this is like a landing page of a website. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see? It looks like anime, right? So look at that parallax animation. All these were being done with what? With Figma. This is massive. This is just like hero section of a website. You can see, and many other things. So this is going to be the end of the class for tonight. It's going to be the end of the class for tonight. Please, let's come on WhatsApp. If you feel like, oh, this is something that you want to go for, I'm going to drop the offer in the WhatsApp group. Let's come on WhatsApp. And if you feel it is something that you want to go for, I want you to take action immediately. I do that. Thank you. And I will be entertaining questions. The group, after the offer, the group will be open for everyone that has questions to ask as well. And don't forget, if you want mentorship as well, I'm going to drop an offer. Let's say you want mentorship, and for some of us, I know there are some people that they are well versed already in UI/UX design in the group, but you still feel like there are still a lot of things from this, the way this coach is actually taking it. There are a lot of things I can show you, like secrets that can make your work a lot faster and even a lot better. So, and there are some things that you need to know, like some MUI, UX principles, core principles, and rules, how to use auto layout and constraints and many other things perfectly well. You can see I'm using a lot of auto layouts in my design, creating button with auto layouts. We didn't even work around with components, reusable components at all. So there's still a lot of things to learn. And I want you to jump on the offer I'm going to drop on the WhatsApp right now, and let's see how far we can go from there. Thank you very much for your time tonight. I really appreciate everyone that has been present from the beginning all the way to the end of these this 1 week UI/UX design bootcamp. It's been awesome. And I want to tell you that I so much love every one of you. I appreciate you all, and I want to see you all grow. I want to see you all grow. I want to see us all making money and traveling the world together. All right. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, everyone. And let's come together on WhatsApp. I can see Abiola raising his hand. Please, let's come to WhatsApp, and I will surely open the group very soon so that every one of us can ask our question. Don't forget to jump on the offer I'm going to drop. It's going to be so massive, and jump on the offer, and let's see how far we can go from there. All right. Thank you, and have a wonderful time.